tests. Now, yeah, Mr. Osas, good evening, sir. It's great to see you. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, so speaking in my own opinion, okay, you're welcome, ma. For me, speaking is the simplest of all IELTS tests. And if you have ever been privileged to go to school in Nigeria and you are able to like finish, get to probably the last class and do the exams, I think you will not have problem with speaking. I think you will not have problem with speaking. Um, so it is that simple. It only has to do with communication skills. Can you talk? If yes, you can speak. If you can talk, then you can speak. But if probably if someone cannot talk, then we can be talking about.
So we cannot hear you again.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Please, I was saying that if you can talk, if you have ever gone to school, from primary school, secondary school, and you're able to get to university, then you will not have problem with speaking. You can't tell me you have problem with speaking if you have ever been to, if you have had the opportunity of going to school, you don't have problem with speaking. So if you have been to school before, you should not. So speaking is that simple. So when people say they are afraid of speaking, I sometimes ask questions that how come? What happened? What is the principle behind that? Because it is that simple. It does not call for any strange issue. Now, I like to explain it in such a way that you'll be able to understand very simply. Speaking is an interaction that happens in us like an interview. And the primary focus of the interview is to try to get to know your proficiency, your capacity with the use of grammar. When you get too serious, your mark will drop. That is the problem about speaking. When you get too serious, your mark will drop. Because it really does not need seriousness. At the same time, when you get too playful, your mark will drop. So it's a kind of in-between issue. It's a kind of in-between issue that, it simply requires an awareness that what is being tested here is my speaking ability. So knowing what they are looking for becomes important. You can't cram it. And I'm going to explain why you can't cram it. If I want to test how you can use grammar, and then you come to me and you start saying, blah, 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 sheep. Have you any wool? Yes, sir, tree, blah. What are you saying? Say, I'm speaking grammar now. Don't you see that blah, 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 sheep is, are you any wool? Are you any wool is a big grammar. Now, that is a grammar of somebody that was composed. You are only telling me something that somebody said. And to make matter worse, you are not even telling me in a way that will make me know that you don't know. The way you are telling me is such a way that I will so know that you don't know it at all. And that's the first crisis about speaking. That's the reason why you can't cram. So it is a matter of, trying to let the examiner know that what I am saying is my product, is my property, is my idea, is my thought system. I'm telling you what I know, not what I don't know. So that is the first thing you want to let the examiner to know. And that's why you cannot be too serious. Because when you are too serious, it will appear like you are cramming. The examiner wants to see your expression. Now, if he asks you to tell him about a most exciting period in your life, that is, okay, tell me about the most exciting time, the time that you laughed most in your life. And when you are talking, you are frowning. The time I laughed most was when I was in school. And in that school, I was really, really laughing. In fact, when I laughed, everybody laughed too. And we were laughing together. The first issue is that the person doesn't know what he's saying. He's talking about laughing and he's frowning. Is he sure that he laughed? What does it? And by that alone, your mark has dropped because your expression does not dictate your reality. So when you are talking to examiner, your expression is part of your mark, though not directly. It may not be as directly as I'm saying it, but it is just to let the examiner know that okay, what I'm saying is not a lie, and it's actually something that happened. You have to convince your examiner by your physical expression, your facial appearance, that you are not lying. Oh, the exciting time in my life. I can't forget that day. It was such a day that always, reverberate in my memories. It happened just a few nights ago when I received a good news that this and this happened. And you're already showing it, you're beaming a smile. The examiner himself is forced to smile. Now, why I said if you get too playful, it becomes a problem, is that by the time you get to the examiner, I say, sorry, what happened? Say, I was only showing expression. Now you are taking it far. You are removing the exam element in it, and that is the professionalism involvement. If you are told to like stage a program, you are told to like cover a program as an MC, there are some things that professionally should not do. You can't say because you are MC, you start jumping up and down, hugging everybody. You can't get drunk, It's just normal because you want to be what? Professional. So your professional acumen will teach you not to laugh too much to the point that, you almost hit the examiner and say, no. At the same time, it will also teach you not to frown too much or not to be scared too much to the point that the examiner is wondering, what is wrong with this person? Is he cramming what he's saying? So that balance of expression is key. And so your natural state can do that one for you. It's a magic. Your natural state can do that one for you. It's a magic. You will be able to do this much better in your natural state than in your non-natural state. All right? So having said this, I like to now talk about what the examiner is looking for in your speech. What does he want to hear? What are the significant things that the examiner will be marking when you are talking? The things that he will be marking when you are talking. The first thing that I believe he will be marking is your fluency. Your fluency. Fluency. Now, I like to say a number of words that I believe you can use to start your words that can encourage fluency. One of the things I tell people is avoid assertiveness. Avoid assertiveness. Write this down. Number one, avoid assertiveness. Never express 100% assurance while you are dealing with tests. Never. Always come from a probable point of view. So here are some words you can use to start up when you are dealing with your examiner. Words like I think, I feel, I believe, it is assumed, it seems that it is probable that in my opinion, in my own personal viewpoint, in my own personal opinion, I allude that, or I assume that. So if they ask, what is your name? Please don't say I think, because that one is in you have a confirmation that your name is your name. Where do you live? You have a confirmation that you live somewhere. So all those ones do not need those kind of answers. But if they ask questions like, what will you prefer between tea and coffee? What do you prefer between tea and coffee? You can say, I think I will like coffee. Now, second principle about fluency is the use of coercive devices. Now, when you are speaking, you are responding to the examiner, there are some words that you should use as link words that will really help you. Link words. When you are trying to communicate the viewpoint from an issue that has taken place, you now want to contrast yourself. Maybe you said, well, I don't take tea, I take milk. I don't take tea, I take milk. That's a pit you put yourself, because the examiner will not know whether you are saying a new word or not, or a new sentence or not. You just believe that I probably don't know what to say. So if you say, I don't take milk, but, that's a coercive device. And you could be talking and then you just need to move to another point. Let me give an example. An adventure that you loved as a child. An adventure that you loved as a child. Now, I'm sorry. Look at my eyes. It's really feeling like it's closing. So if I sit down, I will slip off. So I have to walk up and down. So sorry, sorry that I'm walking. All right. So now, an adventure that I had as a child that I loved. Thank you. So now let me answer the question. The question, the thing is, I think an adventure, or I think a journey that I took and I felt excited about as a child was when I had a trip to my father, to my uncle in Jos. In fact, it was a journey that caught us by surprise. Now, just mark the words that I'm using to link. In fact, it was a journey that took us by surprise because we were not planning, to go. However, we got on the journey and it was such a pleasant one for me as an individual. Interestingly, there were not too many sites along the road. Although we had opportunity of visiting some tourist centers at the venue, at our place of destination. Okay, so now if you point out carefully what I've said now, you'll be pulling at least 5 or 6 link words. Who can help me out? Can you write out the link words that you can point out? All right, 6. Now, there's a problem about it. The problem is that if you use a link word inappropriately, you're in trouble because it will reduce your mark. Inappropriate use of link words will reduce your mark. If you're not using your link words properly, and let me say this quickly. Link words should not be used overly. They should not be overused. that means you should use them by a normal level of intention, meaning that you should use them, in a way that will be respectable to the link word itself. Now, if I say, I went home, however I ate, does it look okay? I went home, however I ate. Does it look appropriate? I think however should be when you are saying something opposite to what you are. Am I correct? However should be when you are saying something that is directly opposite of what you were saying earlier. However, I went home and I ate. That's better. I went home, then I ate. That's better. But I went home, however I ate. So however should be a contrast. Same thing with although should be a contrast. Same thing should be conversely should be a contrast. Conversely, on the contrary, should be a contrast. Okay. And then on the other hand too, should be a contrast. In there's another word that I'm forgetting. Don't worry. Now, then we have other words that you can use probably when you want to start a new word. Furthermore, we add opportunity to visit the king, who inadvertently accepted us. Inadvertently. Okay, on the one hand. Okay. So there are many of them that you can use. There are so many, but please use them properly. Please, if you can still hear me, let me know, so that I don't assume that I'm being active.
I can hear you, sir.
Albeit is also albeit very correct. Albeit, yes, very correct too. Now, I want to tell you something interesting about speaking. In speaking, there is more freedom of link words than writing. Admittedly, you can't use in facts when you're writing. Admittedly, it's allowed, but admittedly, it's like agreeing that this thing is true. Okay. So, are we together, please? So, basically, it's simple, but the bottom line is that you must try to understand that link words should be used properly. Now, the next thing about fluency is avoid stammering and stuttering. Avoid stammering and stuttering. Avoidance of stammering and stuttering. Okay. Now, when you are being asked, and you say, well, now, in the audio, what the examiner will be hearing is, well. Now, basically, you didn't say well, but because that's what you had. So, practicing to avoid stammering is key. But stammering could be even excused because it could be a human default. The one that will never be excused is what I call stuttering. Stuttering is when you put too many pauses in between your words because of lack of idea. When I went to then later I now went to eventually when the then the now that is a problem. You will not get your score if you stutter too much. You will not get your score if you stutter too much. It is not advisable to stutter. It's not advisable. It is not going to give you a score. All right. So, how do you prevent yourself practicing speaking? Practicing speaking. I like you to know that speaking can be practiced. How do you practice speaking? Get an assessor or get someone that can serve like an examiner who will interview you, and then you respond to the person. Let the person be an examiner. But if you don't have that luxury, face your mirror. Start talking to your mirror. use those parameters, record it by yourself, and mark it for yourself. So, when I was going to do the IELTS second time, I did this method of recording. It was funny, because I would just give myself 6, 5, 2. Sometimes I'll just find myself doing when I'm and I say, oh, hey, hope I'm not going to be saying tomorrow. Sometimes when you get to the exam or you find spontaneous speaking, you just have flowing, like you put it somewhere. But if you have been practicing, that's when it's going to happen. You have to adapt to the habit of practicing. It's going to really help a lot. It's going to really help a lot. And I bet you, the more you practice, the more you find ease with some of these things. Stuttering is natural, but it will not help you in IELTS exam. It will not help you in IELTS exam. It's actually one of the stuff that reduce marks, because an external examiner is going to listen to you. And because he's going to listen to you, you will likely not be able to explain that, sir, that does not mean, for instance, now, I want to say something like, I want to go to the market. I say, I want to go to our market. Our market. Now, it looks like our market. Meanwhile, what I simply said was that I want to go to the market. The arm has scattered it. Okay? So, on the long run, it is good that you have practiced quite a lot of times so that you can maintain, a level of stability when you're speaking. So, stuttering should not be allowed. Like I just started now. Stuttering. It's a sign that you don't have idea. So you can also deliver yourself from stuttering by reading a lot and listening to much news so that you can have much information. Someone else said, sir, is it allowed to say what never happened in the past? Yes, it's allowed. That if they ask a question and it never happened to me in the past, what will I say? Open your mouth and start saying what comes to your mouth. But it should not be a function of what you are afraid or have had. Sometimes when you are saying what never happened, your examiner will see your mouth, the way it's moving. And that's when you will stutter a lot. I can't remember what happened again. That's a problem. Don't allow lack of information to put you to stutter. You have to read a lot. The second thing that examiner is looking at is your pronunciation. Some people want to do exam, speaking tests. They now go to the exam hall. Examiner say, what's your name? My name is Mannerm. What did you say? My name is Harvest Haven. What did you say? Pronunciation is going to be one of these scores. And if you try to fake your pronunciation, it will be used against you. You don't fake pronunciation. I call it faking of accents. Trying to use the words you are not used to. You want to say cook, you say cock. What did you say? I mean, basically, the people that will listen to you, they will judge from your normal accents. And if you have a Nigerian accent, say it the way you believe is correct. Leave the rest. All right? Say it the way you believe is correct and leave the rest. Okay? The third aspect is grammar, grammatical range and accuracy. Grammatical range and accuracy, which has to do with the way you avoid shooting the examiner. How can you avoid shooting the examiner in a typical English test, I mean English speaking test. It takes a lot of conscious effort actually. It's not going to be normal. It's not going to be so easy that you will speak and your examiner will not have to cover his head. When I gone home, I later see my Bible. Now the worst thing is for you now use you are now saying pidgin. I can't go home. Ah, I can't go home where? Come where? Odo, straight one. Don't speak any form of informal English in your speaking, including pidgin English or vernacular. I had a story of somebody that did very well in IELTS and then had 5.5 in speaking. And the person was telling me what happened. He said when the person saw this part two question, I've not even talked about the parts of IELTS, I'll do that now. He said when he saw the part two question, he said the person said, "Yay, Temi Bami." And the examiner was like, "Oh, sorry, what did you say? What did you say?" See, I'm like, I didn't want people say Temi Bami, say it in English language now. Which was Temi Bami? All right, in front of the examiner. You know, he was shocked that he didn't understand the question and just reacted. It's really going to cause problem. Don't speak in vernacular. Don't speak in informal language. Don't speak in pidgin. Try and speak with your normal accent. If you are from Ghana, speak the way you speak in Ghana. If you are from Nigeria, speak the way you speak in Nigeria. Don't add to it. Don't subtract from it. Just be natural. Be yourself. Okay? Now, try not to express any level of fear or nervousness by relating to examiner like you will relate to a elderly friend. Now, if you are talking to an elderly friend, someone that is older than you but is your friend, no, you will not disrespect the person. At the same time, you will not be too formal with the person. Do you get the point I'm trying to make? Say, okay, good morning, sir. And then you just speak like you will speak to an elderly friend. That's all. And then that respect will be there. And you don't try to, shout on the examiner. Don't frown at the examiner. Just answer gently, simply, as if you are not under pressure. And let him flow with you. Now, the fourth one is what I mentioned earlier. I mentioned queries and question. That's the fourth. All right. So now you will observe that what I just said is not a big deal. But the only reason to become a big deal is if by the time you get to the exam hall, you are afraid. Then you begin to put yourself under pressure. Now, from the people I've met so far that I've had speaking test with, all the people that went for remark for speaking, they got their they got their scores upgraded, all of them, from 6 to 7. Okay, because speaking is not it's not an issue for me, but preparation is just to be able to have idea, so that you don't just go there and start ruminating on what do I want to say, because they are not judging your knowledge in speaking. Knowledge is not judged. What is being judged is your skill of language. So they will not judge your vocabulary. They want to see how much. And I want to talk about this aspect too. Your vocabulary. Am I expected to speak big English in speaking test? Like when I was cobalized. Don't say cobalized. Okay. When I was exabulated, elucidated. All this thing you are saying is going to give 1-0. Just speak appropriate English. That's all. What is the normal English we use for this matter? Even if you are not trying to impress anybody, use that English. Then you move on. Sarcastically. There are some words that are totally informal. When you are talking to examiner, don't say, I was wowed. I was wowed. I was wowed in correct English. Is wow a correct English? Wowing. Can you say wowing? Wowing. Wows. He wows. He wows. And the automatic will do. So avoid speaking English that will put you under pressure. Speak the English you know and try to find synonyms to the words you know. Now, one way that can help you to express language is that don't answer the question in its words. The best food you like. Don't say the best food I like is the food I cherish most. That's a way to you have tried to like answer the examiner, reply the examiner, but in another word that is having similar meaning with the words. Please don't say I'm said though. These are the words I'm saying you're running from. Try to use modest and English that everybody knows. All right. Don't get yourself under any form of negative pressure. It could harm you. It could harm you. So just be calm, be relaxed, and allow for interaction. I would like to finish quickly tonight because I want us to explore around speaking stuffs. We'll just speak randomly, and I will allow some of us to just try and answer me based on what we talked tonight. Speaking is simple. You will need to believe what I'm saying, and just take it lightly on yourself. Don't be now. Some people say, when I was asked that question, I did not know the answer. What if I'm asked what I don't know? The answer is use what you know to get what you don't know. Example, can you tell us about the pet that you loved most? And you ate pests. You don't even know anything about pests. About pets. How do you answer? Well, I think pets have been one of the very few dislikes I have personally um, ticked on in my life. I had dislike for pests since the time I was 3 years old, when my elder brother had a bite from a nearby dog. On this fateful day, now I have distracted the examiner and I've started telling me something that does not even have to do with pets. He's asking me that what is the pet I like most, and I tell him I don't even like pets, and I'm trying to tell him what brought about that experience, and that to put him in the storyline. That examiner will know I'm intelligent, and is going to respect my intelligence and just simply push me away to another question. In fact, many of the time, thank you very much, ma'am. Yes, you're correct. Many of the, sometimes when you even get this course, you'll be wondering, what did I even say? That's the funny thing. Now, many of the times you will think that it is what it is, maybe the right answer, there's a right answer. There is no right answer for speaking. There is no right answer for speaking. What the right answer is your skill. That's the right answer. Can you pronounce well? Can you be fluent? All right. Can you connect the words into each other properly? And can you speak without having grammar problems? That's all. If you like, carry the examiner into the bush. Tell him about something totally different from the question. As long as you're able to link properly to that particular thing, you're fine. And if it doesn't stop, now, one more rule I want to add to is, if your examiner does not stop you, don't stop talking. I think I've written a first speaking test, and all the speaking tests I had, I think I had 7 twice, 7.5 once, 8 twice. Okay, the last one I did was 8. There was one I did, the first time I ever get 8. That's the third attempt. The examiner, exactly. The examiner was asking me a question, and I've exhausted all the answers. So I was just like, and I stopped talking. I don't know whether she liked me or she just did like this behind the camera, behind the camera. Ah, continue. How? He said, continue. So she was telling me that if I stop talking, I will lose my mark. So I just started saying nonsense. I just started saying, so when we talk about this, it's actually dealing with a complexity around the matter that leads to I'll just say jargon, I'll just say something in my mouth. Until you just say, bam, bam, bam. I said, okay. So these people are not even looking for they're not looking for whether you are right or wrong. That's the issue that people don't know. Whether you are right or wrong is not their business. Can you speak good English? Let me hear you. That's all. So it's a test of whether you can speak correct English or not. And it is and you have to prove them. So, and good English is not big English. That's the issue. Good English is not big English. It's not encyclopedia. It's not elongator. It's not abbreviator. It's nothing of that nature. What it is fluency, correct pronunciation, clear link with logical progression in your sentence, and grammatical freedom from error. I mean, freedom from grammatical error. That is good English. So, what does the speaking entails? There are three parts. Part one is introduction. What's your name? Where are you from? What do you know? I mean, where do you work? What do you do at work? Does your work affect your study? Does your work, thank you, ma, descriptive imagination, very perfect. They just want to ask general questions, all right? You are correct, ma. General questions, nothing significant, just general issues. They now move to a more specific area, and that one is what is the second part of the essay, of the test. They give you a paper and say, talk about it, okay? So you'll be told to talk about it, okay? What is this? What is that? What is that? What is that? And the paper we have like 4 or 5 questions. You'll be told to prepare that paper for 1 minute, and after 1 minute, you'll be told to talk about it. So just start talking about it. After 2 minutes, they will stop you. Then they will now ask you 1 or 2 questions around it. They now move to session 3. On session 3, that's the longest part. They will ask you all manner of questions around question 2 and some other questions too. Just general questions around. Just move around, meander around, bam, and they're through. Okay, so if you can be fluent without saying without stuttering, without looking like you are cramming, being calm, showing a level of smile, you are fine. And then you don't speak Queen's English that you cannot speak. You speak a normal language, and you are not speaking fire from your mouth. You are speaking good English. That's all. So, what I will ask us now is there anyone that asks a question about speaking that probably we like to ask? You'd like to ask a question about speaking? Like us to ask? Or you want to tell me something about speaking that probably I've not said? It's a very lovely one, and many times you will always know that you have done well when you have done well, because you sometimes your examiner will even be marking you in front of you. You will barely see your mark. So that is one of the things that happen in speaking. Do we have anyone that wants to probably tell us anything that probably have not said? I actually had a I had a little video that I saw recently, a speaking video where some questions were asked. If you can find jobs like that, if you do well to answer them, do practice a lot. It's going to really help a lot. It's going to really help a lot to make your work easier. All right, now, okay, okay. How can somebody overcome tension during speaking? Okay, okay. Aha. Good. These are questions. Now, the first thing I will say about tension is before you enter the exam, laugh aloud. Let me show you the kind of laughter I said you laugh. Before you enter the exam, just do one laughter like this. Now, what you are doing is you are trying to exhale. So you are trying to press out negative pressure from inside you. So you just bump from the depth, you press your lung in. If possible, go to toilet and do this. Like laugh from inside your tummy. Let it be loud as possible. It weakens you from being pressured. You will just find an ease of energy. And that's why the issue of breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out comes up. Okay? So it's that simple. I wish I can share my screen because I want to try and see if I can pull out some speaking questions from my profile. The ones that I actually saw here. Sorry, let me see if I can just pull out some questions from here. I want to try and see if something is going to play. But let me just see. None of them is assuming they are angry. I'm coming, please. Oh, I don't have access to the question that I want to pick. Okay, so let me see if I can answer other questions quickly, since I'm not seeing what I want to say. Speaking is really the simplest. So if you are unprepared, you pass speaking very well. That's the issue about speaking. Okay, so now let me see the other question. I didn't see example because of the fact that I couldn't pick it up. I said, in your part one, will the examiner ask the question at once or one after? Yes, it's going to be one after the other. You'll be expected to answer before you ask another question. Now, if you don't hear the examiner very well, please ask the examiner to repeat himself. But don't make it irregular thing, you know. There was one exam I did like that. When I said, please, can you say that again? Look at me like this. He said it again. I said, sorry, I can't hear you. And that examiner was it was my namesake. It was my namesake. So you're not looking at that. This is one. Better be careful. So you just use his eyes to tell me that before ask anything, like don't mess up yourself. So if you don't hear the examiner the first time and you hear the second time, just assume the answer I'm telling, because it's not about the issue is not about whether you can speak the question in a bigger way. It's just about can you speak English? Okay, they will be asking one by one. Excuse me, please. Said, does the examiner wear mask? Well, Well, sorry. Oh my God, somebody, and I have friends that did the exam yesterday. I would have asked. Maybe I will still try and ask again. Uh, but I think the distance will not, because they will not hear what you are saying if you put on mask. So, but and of course, the examiner too may not be very clear if you put on mask. So, I just think they may want to speak normally without mask, but there will be distance anyway, or they may want to use mic. So, I don't know. I don't know whether they use mask, but I hope I will confirm that one maybe before tomorrow. All right. Let me see the other questions. The examiner which no. Well, I did the exam 5 times. The first time I did it, it was not in Nigeria, it was in UK. So a Briton, interviewed me. But in Nigeria, in fact, there was one funny incident I had. The guy that wanted to interview them was outside gisting with them, but they didn't know. And he was speaking pure pidgin. Pure pidgin. So they were like, this guy that just speaking pidgin up and down. And then they entered the exam and saw him. Hello, can I meet you? Only pidgin, look. So they are Nigerians actually. They are Nigerians. They are just like us, normal accents. They will not even fake it. They will not tell you how are you. They speak their normal, but some of them are actually, they have trained their tongue to speak, coil some words. So you will not have problem hearing them because they are simply Nigerians like us. So there's no big deal about that. Okay, then another one is in part 2 speaking. Do you give example of questions? Or, well, you see, they can ask you now the question in part 2, the questions are 5. They are in a sheet of paper. They are called cues. The first thing is they will ask you a place you went to that interested you. Number 2, what made the place interest you? Number 3, how you felt about the interest. Number 4, what you will do if you want to go there. They just ask you normal questions about everything that you have ever had or whatever. And then you will be in 2 minutes to talk. Now, somebody told me a principle that you can use to answer these kind of questions. Brown said you can use your past, your present, and your future. Something that happened in the past about that place, how you probably see it in the present, and what you intend to do in the future. So that could be a pattern of answering the questions so that you don't, because one thing again is that it is good that you don't finish talking before your time. Do not finish talking before your time. Don't say, I don't know what to say again. Say something. Just be saying. I like to ask Ms. Olotola. I'm sorry, ma'am. You had the exam at the time. Please, was it all the questions you understood very well? All the questions, did you understand everything very well? Or there are some.
Good evening, everyone. In fact, my first time, I practiced for just 3 weeks. And I went, it was a UKVI in Lagos. And the speaker I met with was a Nigerian, an elderly woman in her late 50s. She was actually Nigerian, but she had a British accent.
Yeah.
Well, the question she asked me, in fact, the first one she asked me was about global warming. From global warming, we went into working on night shifts. Now, what do I know about working on nights? Have I ever had reasons to stay up all night? So of course, I had to bring my nursing into it. I told her about how I've been working night shift and all that. So I just painted the scenario that never happened of when my daughter was ill, when I came back from work. I started from when I parked at the garage, even though I don't have any garage in my house anyway. But I just cooked up something. I just went flowing and flowing. At some point, she had to wave me to say it was okay. Then she now went to climate changes. Now, what do I know? Do I like wet regions or hot regions? Which one do I prefer? And I went into the future because I thought of myself working in the UK. So I told her, well, and I started getting something out of nowhere and was just saying something. At some point, she told me it was okay.
Like water.
you know, we just flow. If you are good with descriptive imagination, like I said, your imagination will come into play. And then you just cook up something and you now start talking. The best part I like about the second section is that they give you something, they give an outline that you can follow. Like just as I explained, they will tell you what they expect you to talk about. And they give you a pencil to write out what are your ideas. So in that 1 minute, they'll give you 1 minute to think about the whole thing. So in that 1 minute, you will just jot down the points you want to expatiate on. It's like you're giving an health talk to a group of people, and you expect that they will ask you any questions from anywhere. Because she took me around, it was like Vivax during nursing practical exam. We went from global warming to cold region to night shift to, at some point she was asking me about sports. What was the best sport I like? I'm somebody that not, because of nursing, I'm not good with tennis sport. But I know that the most important one that we all watch is soccer. So I picked that one and I started talking about idea is there. Then she went into what I know about climate change and how it affects me. Then she went to social media, that what are the devices of social media? How do I want to use it in the nearest future to upgrade nursing and all that? So we just went talking on, and then but she had to stop me at the end of the whole thing, and she just smiled and told me to go.
And
And
you
I've
had
had
your
eight.
eights.
Yes, I had my eighth, my first time.
Sorry, thank you very much, ma'am. Wow, thank you very much, ma'am. Now, do we have anyone here that has done speaking before and want to share his or her experience? Because I believe it's a practical stuff, and one of them is simple. We say, speaking is like speaking English to an elderly friend. Just have that mental picture. I want to speak to an elderly friend. So I'm not going to be rude, and I will not be too formal. You understand? I will not be rude and I will not be too formal. In between, I will maintain my balance, and I will just try and express myself. Now, if you know that you need to be putting coercive devices, whenever you remember, just put it. However, you now continue. So make sure when when you want to speak, however, or any other contrast, you speak anything opposite to what you are saying before. That's the principle. So if I've been saying I love tea, however, it's not every time I like to take it. Okay, so you will never want to say anything before, but that, however, they like it like anything. In their writing, they like it, and they love to say it a lot. If you hear them speak a lot, you hear them speak however a lot. So there are however people. Just give it to them, please. Don't miss that however aspect. All right. Someone said, how can I handle unfamiliar topics? By using familiar to answer it. Just use a familiar topic to answer an unfamiliar topic. If they ask you about taking a trip to the moon, you say, oh, it's such a beautiful experience. I love to have experienced, although I never had the privilege because of the nature of my job and because of the fact that it is only for some specific group of people. Now, you have been able to like impress her because you are able to link words around to make up what you are trying to say, even though you don't know what you are saying. Okay, so it's very key that you are flowing, just flow. Anyone that wants to tell us his or her experience, just to further buttress on what Mommy has said, do we have anyone again? And she also said that you should at least have an idea, know something about everything. Now, why you will benefit from reading a lot now is because the more you read, the more you have a lot of information in your mind. And the more you have that information in your mind, the more you will not have fear if they throw you on anywhere. And you can even talk like someone that is even in charge. You understand? That is the beauty about, trying to communicate. Trying to communicate, flowing without any struggle. So now, I think nobody is willing to speak to us, and I don't know whether we still have questions from speaking or not. But we'll probably want to do some examples. I will ask few people. I will pick people at random. I will ask you some questions, and I want you to answer to help me. Everybody's going to hear what you're going to be saying. Okay. If you see your phone get on mute, just know that it is you that I'm talking to. Okay, and I'm speaking randomly. But please, I will encourage you as you can, if possible, if you can, just turn on your camera. Let us see. Um, let's see you. So, me, I'm doing a great job. The mind is almost closing. Anyway, can you tell us? Can you tell us about a trip that you went and you got so exhausted? Kenny, I'm already pointing to Kenny now. A trip you went to that got you so exhausted. Can you unmute your mic? Tell us, unmute your mic. Okay.
Okay, the trip I went to that got me so exhausted
Now
was
that voice,
an outing.
avoid answering that way. Don't answer with the words of the examiner.
Okay, sir.
You remember? Aha. So I want to correct some few errors. That's why I will allow us to speak to answer. I don't want to answer. You answer with a synonym, a journey
Okay.
that got me tired. So that already has shown that this person is good. Okay. So
All right, sir. Should I
okay.
continue?
Yeah, continue. Let me give you one more minute. I will take I call everybody. I start from you. Very good.
Okay, journey I took that got me really tired was out when I was in secondary school. We were to go on a trip to visit a museum to see different arts displayed there. So I went with them. Although I don't really have interest in doing that, I would have preferred going to watch soccer.
That's beautiful. However, it was compulsory for us to go. I think that's what is angry. So let me push it to Mrs.
Because I
Oluwasola.
love yes,
Yeah, I'm going to vote
football.
you now
Okay, sir.
because there was a moving situation around that took place. So, but I think you will see how you flow trying to use coherent words. Very important. I want to speak to Mrs. Oluwasola now. Tell us about the best food you have ever eaten.
I think the best meal that I have ever eaten is pounded yam.
Maybe I would have loved you to say the meal, the meal, the meal of greatest. Sorry, I'm thinking now, and that's why price is important too. The meal of greatest or the meal that gave me greatest satisfaction. Okay, maybe. But I could say, okay, the best the best meal I ever consumed. Okay, maybe something like that could work. All right, so continue.
Okay, the best meal I have ever consumed is pounded yam
Okay,
with egusi.
wow.
I, I so much like the meal because it gives me a lot of satisfaction.
Don't stop if they didn't stop you. If they didn't stop you, don't stop. You have to continue to say something. You just tell me, I remember in the day, you go to the past tense, then
Okay,
present tense, then future tense.
okay.
Don't
I
stop. Oh,
remembered when I was with my grandma
yeah.
in a village in Osun State. We
No,
used to
no, no,
pound
no.
yam.
You want to say, for example, I
Okay,
remember back in the days, because that link word is key. Okay.
okay. For example, I remember back in the days when I was living with my grandma, our best meal was pounded yam. And she pounds this yam in so much in a way that it looks
Although the food.
attractive. Although
Okay. Now, let me go to Mr. Yobami because he's the one that is flowing with me right now. I think there's next flow. Now, understand what I'm trying to do for you. If you don't
okay,
practice, you may not learn these things. And that's the reason why you have to keep on. See, when you are talking, be conscious of some certain connecting device that you will be using from today. Like, however, number one, okay, although number two, whereas number three, why number four, how be it, number five, okay, you know,
All right.
furthermore, in addition, okay, moreover, okay, for instance, for example, okay, and all that. So,
All right.
Mrs. I want to know what Mrs.
Thank you.
Now. Okay? You're welcome. I will ask Mr. Abam to speak to us on the best party you ever attended. I hope I did not ask question to the negative aspect. The best party you ever attended as a nurse. You don't know that I know something. So, try to unmute. Can you unmute yourself? Just press your unmute button.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
The most excited party that I've attended was when I was in.
Exciting. That's the most correct. That's grammar.
The most exciting party that I attended was when I was in secondary school, when we were invited by one of our classmates for a birthday party. It was so fun.
It was so full of fun.
Okay, it was so full of fun.
It was so full of fun. Yeah.
It was so full of fun. Even though my parents dislike going to a party.
I like that. Beautiful. Hey.
Going to a party, but I pleaded with my parents and I was allowed to attend.
You sneaked there.
Although my parents dislike young children or children going to a party, but I sneaked to attend such party.
That if I were to talk, we have done well. It's okay. You try. Now, I like you to see the points here. You are trying to make the examiner to pay attention to your grammatical skill. Now, you see, if you don't know what the examiner is looking for, it will be a problem. But if you know what the examiner is looking for, you make sure you mention those things to his face. And you say such a way that you are so confident and you don't rush your words. You don't say, when I was going and I went later, because you will not hear what you are saying. At the same time, you don't shout because you will not even hear you too. At the time, you don't whisper. When I went, because you are afraid. You speak in a voice that you can hear. And when you get to those points where you know that, this touch like, you say those words to him and make it very clear. Okay? All right. Let me go to Mrs. Folayemi now. Don't worry, we're all learning. It's actually interesting. And I like us to know that some of these things, you learn faster in practical sessions of speaking than in teaching sections. If you don't train yourself to speak more often, you will not get to speak. People that speak English a lot will get to speak better. Mrs. Folayemi, please, I don't know whether you have been. All right, thank you. Now, I'd like to ask you about pollution in the tourist center in Abeokuta. Pollution in the tourist center in Abeokuta. What are the ways the government and the community can come together to prevent the habit of water pollution or of general pollution or environmental pollution by tourists when they visit the tourist center in Abeokuta? And that one is the unfamiliar question. But don't worry, you can always attend to it. So unmute yourself and try and answer. Okay, maybe I should put your mute a little bit. All right, try to unmute yourself, man. Okay, I don't know what's happening, but she's not able to unmute herself. I tried to unmute her from here. Okay, I think it's ready now. Yes, I'm with you, man. I'm with you, man. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, you can speak on, ma.
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you, ma. I can hear you. How can the federal government and the community people prevent pollution by tourists who visit the tourist center in Abeokuta? Oh, okay. Maybe when
Hello.
yeah, I can hear you, ma. I'm hearing you, ma. I can hear you.
That is quite a hard question to answer, but I think the federal government should create awareness and they should try to educate the public about the visitation of the tourists to the community, and they should also be carried along with the culture and the do's and don'ts of the community as a whole. And the tourists should also be welcomed. And wow, it's kind of difficult. But
let me tell you what I observed. Your and there was much and there. That and there is stuttering. So you find the way of changing the words instead of saying and next to this, in addition, okay, furthermore, okay, those are the words you can use in between. Furthermore,
I can also say firstly.
Firstly, exactly.
Okay,
yeah,
the federal government.
Secondly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Firstly, I think the federal government should create awareness to the public. Secondly, the tourists too should be educated on the culture and the way of life of the environment. Furthermore, I think
that's what I think before. Don't say I think too much attention.
Okay, if you ask me.
Don't say if you ask me, because I've asked you already.
God. My God, though.
If you ask me, it's an informal word. So if you avoid anything that is informal, avoid
Help
it.
me out, please.
Like some people say,
I've done this before. Shit.
Let me add this to what I wanted to say. Some people will say Hassan. No, don't say Hassan. For example, or something like there's some words I used to say that when I'm talking to our friends, I'm trying to remember the words that I used to like.
So therefore,
Shebi.
What's Shebi?
I love viewing question, right?
The third question is the question you asked, the third part of the speaking, right?
Yeah, third part.
It's abstract. Is the third part.
It's abstract and it's unfamiliar.
So I have to think.
The thing about it is that, see, if you are calm enough, you can distract the examiner. You can it's like don't say it's like no, use very professional words. Now let me come to deal with this now. If you are dealing with a question that you don't know before, the examiner is you are sure that the examiner is trying to get at you because you don't even know the answer at all. What do? You first of all express a level of calmness. Well, I think the government and the community both has a dual role to play in a kind of combined role to play. Kind of is even not correct. A combined role to play in abating the crisis of. Now, what are you doing by that? You are delaying. It's a delay tactics. You see, if you are too fast to just jump and start saying firstly, secondly, the time we go, all these things is just 15 minutes exam. So it's not like there's time like that, but you must first of all introduce you that examiner say, even by the time you say first point, second point, you just say thank you. So they are combined. It's a union. It's a force. I mean, it's a kind of community versus government effort, bringing themselves into one to come against or to fight against this scourge of pollution. Now you are trying to delay this and you are calming yourself down and you are trying to bring yourself to a perfect way of starting. I will enumerate one to maybe 2 to 3 or 5 ways by which this can be done. And then you start from number 1, and then number 2. And when you are doing that one, you try to explain your point. Don't just say 1, 2, 3. By saying this implies that you're trying to say something as explanation. Then number 2, you get my point now. Now, Mrs. Akojena, I don't know whether it's Akojena. I don't know whether that's the correct pronunciation. I'd like to ask you, tell us about a most important trip that you had to go in the last 5 years. One most important trip. Yep. Yeah, you can. But please don't ask more than once. So don't consider them now. Say it again. Pardon. Waiting. Don't do pardon for examine now. And if probably you have said it once and you didn't hear the examiner, just say whatever you can. Yes, ma'am. What was the question I
Okay.
asked you?
You said the most important trip
Yes.
I went in the last 5 years.
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, I'll start. Sorry.
Um,
Okay, I embarked on several journeys in the last 5 years. However, I have a favorite one. That's okay. Can I go on?
yes. I'm only saying that's a good way to start. Beautiful one.
Okay.
Now, see, that's the issue about this stuff. You don't rush into the answer. Don't just, invite her. If you observe very well, those who know about her very well, if you jump an answer, you get another question. But you just say, by the time you first of all settle the examiner, then calm down. Let's deal with this thing normally. When you talk about the bones that cause issues in the body, there are many of these bones. However, there are few I would like to mention. And that's actually number 1. That time I spent like 3 minutes.
Major, water.
You understand? So continue, please.
Only.
The trip was when I had to go on my posting down to Ilori. I'm a person that don't enjoy traveling by road all the time because of the bad roads in our country. However, it was necessary. I had to go. On the way, we had several stops on the way due to the stopovers on the way due to the bus having overeating and the need to ease ourselves off
And fuel the bus.
and fuel the bus. Then at the point at the point we needed to stop over to stretch our legs and
That's already a minus. Don't mention twice. Now, let me just stop you. You have tried. But let me tell you the truth. When you pause too long, don't pause too long. Like when we now went that's long. So it's better to speak not too slowly and not too fast. So that you don't have to pause too long. You'll be able to give space for yourself to be able to pinpoint your points and tell that this is your normal pace of speaking. You understand? But actually, you did quite well. You did very well, and you are able to use lane pause correctly. Now, Mrs. Temilov, I'm going to get you involved right now. I hope we can go around because I want everybody to speak. I just want to hear everybody talk about this. Because if you don't start this thing, it's not the exam that you now say, I didn't know it was not the exam. So I'm not going to say, yay, Morogo. All right. Now, I will be asking you, Teribabi. I'll be asking you about your perception of handicapped children. How should they be treated in the community? What's your perception of handicapped children and how they should be treated in the community?
Firstly, about handicapped students, I think they should be
In the
You could just say, to start with, concerning children with disability. Remember, I told you that don't answer the question from the words of the examiner. Use a paraphrase. That is a very good way to catch the examiner unawares, because already he sees you as a very proficient speaker when you do that. You understand? But if you just answer him from the same words he used to speak to you, he may not respect you, and he will just see you as a normal average person. You get my point?
right,
So concerning students or children, and children and students are not the same. So you can even repeat the word children. Concerning children with some form of disability. Okay, so you can go on.
okay. Firstly, concerning children with disability, they should be treated the way normal children are being treated, in order for them not to have
Okay, now let's just stop there. I guess I want to say that they should be treated with utmost respect and esteem. That's so that they can have a level of acceptability in the community. Now, this is a function of reading. If you don't read quite a lot, you may not be able to find the best approach to the answers of the ones that will be asked to you. Okay. All right. So let me leave it from you now. Mrs. Okay. I think this one I've been trying to address this morning. Miss, I don't know whether it's Mr. or Mrs. Okoro. Would you like to answer any question? If you would like to, please let me see. You unmute your okay, unmute your audio. I'm here to see. Okay. Okay, let me talk to Mr. Korede. Please, can you unmute your video or your audio? So my question is, what is your best interest in your profession? The area of best interest in your profession? Yeah.
Okay. I think that's an interesting question. I really love being caring for people, and the aspect that I enjoy is counseling the drug addict patients.
Okay.
So
I'm going to correct you a little bit. I think I have something like being caring. I love to care, or I love to express high level care to drug addict patients or drug addictive patients, or patients that are addicted to drugs, just to avoid any level of complication in your speech. Try not to use too many collocations. Okay, patients that are addicted to drugs is, I think, a bit better.
Okay.
To care for patients that are addicted to drugs. You can go on now.
Okay,
continue,
maybe. I really have passion to care for those that are addicted with drugs.
Yeah.
So sometimes I usually counsel them and I encourage them. I ensure that I make them to realize that the side effects of drug, the implication of it, and then the need for them to do away with drug so that they can live a better life rather than being addicted to drug. Then I'll make them to see the kind of reasons why it is not good for them to be abusing drug. Then I'll show them some examples of those people that have been affected.
Okay. Now, I think you were able to drive the examiner into your passion. I like that, which was actually what you love to do. And that is actually a sign that you have a good master. You have a good mastery of the language. But more importantly, I think we need to see more personally. Maybe after this class, just send it to me now. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Now, Mrs. Jerry, I'm trying to talk to Mrs. I don't know that is Mr. Okoro, but I think he's not responding. So, Mrs. Jerry, can you turn on your video? Because I would like to see that are online so that we can interact better. Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. So, the question I'll be asking you is, what are the most critical steps you will take under pressure, especially when there is a sense of fear in your environment? This is an abstract question, and I'm asking you because I believe you might have been exposed to this before. So, can you unmute your video? All right. So,
okay. Talking about the rightful steps I'll take when under stress or under pressure, under duress, I would like to, first of all,
3 words mean
hello?
the same thing at the same time. Now, I'm just trying to tell you, you will have just picked one under duress.
Okay,
but you try to
okay.
take like 3 altogether, which is not bad.
Okay. All right, sir. So talking about the steps I'll take when under duress, I would like to, first of all,
I would have loved to use the word measures because, steps, measures
okay.
better. Because I used steps to ask you the question. So to prove to me that you have a mastery of English, use another word. Measures I will take under duress. Very good. Okay?
Okay. The measures I'll take under duress will be forced to at least calm myself down and take a deep thought on what I can do to undo that situation. For instance, there was a day I just saw a snake. I was seriously under tension, as in I was frightened. And then the first thing I could do was to shout for help, like help, help, help. So some neighbors came and then they just helped me. They picked sticks and then they killed the snake. So at least I was calm after that incident.
Your speech carried away the examiner. But just that accent, I don't know whether accent is accurate in English, but at least you're able to pull the examiner's attention, which is good. Mrs. Okwe Oluwa, please can you turn on your video if you don't mind? I want to see how we can be fast, at least to pick in everybody. We have some minutes more. Okay. Okay. I think we start going straight. This is okay. I'm not seeing Sapa again. Sapa is disappeared. All right, maybe we go to Mr. Henry. Yeah, it came up now. I'm not seeing him again. Okay, please, if you are ready, just turn on your video. Let me see so I can know that you are ready, and then we can have the shots. And turn on your video and unmute your audio so I can know that you are ready. I'm not seeing anybody yet. Okay, Mr. Henry, can you hear me? Mr. Henry, I'm sure still hearing me at all. Please help me. I want to link people that are probably ready, but I'm not able to do that. Okay, so what I will probably just round up. I think we tried. In my own opinion, I think we have done quite well. were able to address the stuff quite to a very good extent. Miss Okwe Oluwa, I don't know, Mrs. Asa. Okay, okay, mommy. All right. Let me ask you. Okay, I think I'm seeing Miss Alabi, I'm seeing Mrs. BMA. All right, so let me just go to them right now. All right, so Miss Alabi, can you tell me 2 experiences in your childhood that you can never forget?
As a matter of fact,
Is there a way to start? Would that be able to start a sentence? Hey.
ask.
Maybe we just say, I think, or to start with, maybe that would be a bit better. Yes.
Okay.
I think
To start with,
yeah.
There are so many experiences that I passed through in my childhood, but there is one I really want to talk about, which was the day I went out with my grandma to a farm. It was a day to remember because I experienced what I've never seen before while growing up. And that involved the cultivation of farms and how things were done in the village life.
Okay.
I am used to having other, modern way of living, but going with my grandma to the village.
So you look like you are cramped. Don't tell the examiner. Okay, now let me now, well, actually, you are being natural. You are being yourself, okay? So basically, you can interact the examiner as though he's an elderly friend. I don't know whether it would be okay to tell the examiner it is tricky or that question is tricky. If, as a matter of fact, I'm even scared to tell the examiner it's an interesting question. Well, it's not a bad idea, actually. But whatever is going to tamper with the emotions of the examiner in the negative way, I think we should not even try it at all. Thought like maybe shrinking your face, like, what kind of question is this? It's not his questions, for example, it's an exam. So don't get the examiner to get guilty for asking a normal exam question. Just let there be that flow, that what will I call it now? A teamwork flow, a flow that is neutral between both of you. Okay, just to moderate. It's not his business. And it's in a book, so he doesn't care that is tricky. So when you say it's tricky people, coming by, and all that. Now, another thing again is avoid discriminatory words and avoid religious words. Those 2 words are very key. Don't start talking about black people and white people that are there, because this thing can go far. And if your examiner that was going to mark you is not in Nigeria, or is maybe from whatever, that's how one will enter trouble. Or is just speaking the name of Jesus while you are speaking Allah when you are excuse me, don't have any religious involvement. Just leave anything church or mosque at home. Speak pure natural issues. Avoid anything religion or anything sentimental, anything discriminatory, anything about bad countries. US is very wicked. There are wicked people in US. I know. Don't say anything like that. And don't abuse anybody in the process of trying to answer your question. Okay? So, but I think everybody is doing very well, really. I like to just maybe pick 2 more people so we can just round off. I think the BME is close by. All right. I think after I'll just pick one more person. All right. Mr. BME, can you turn on can you unmute your video? Okay. All right. What is the most popular sport in your country? Now, please, they can ask any question. Don't say, maybe I'm a female. They will ask any question. And of course, just be able to, the issue is that be able to answer and answer with modesty and a very high level of professionalism. So which sport is most popular in your country?
Okay. In my country, which is Nigeria, the sport that is most common among the populace is football.
Sorry, say it again.
Well, football. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you said the sport that is most popular.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you very clearly.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you hear
yes,
me?
yes. I can hear you, please.
Okay.
I can hear you. I'm hearing you very well.
Okay. Okay. I
You
said my
said
country, which is Nigeria. Can you hear?
yes.
Can I
I'm hearing you.
continue?
Continue. Continue.
The
I'm with you.
most the most common sports among my people is you destabilized me. Please let me start again. My country,
All
which is
right.
Nigeria.
Now that is the issue. You are acting like you crammed it, and it's actually risky. You should be able to relax your
I didn't
mind and
cram it. I didn't cram it because of
But
you interrupt.
if you keep repeating, it looks like you're cramming. But sorry for interrupting you anyway. I actually had to
I
say something
didn't.
like this. Sport that is most common, which is even beautiful. That is a very good answer. You now mention popular again, and now no. You don't have to go back to popular. If you have mentioned most common, you have
No, I
already
said
gone for
populance. That one was populance. I was trying to say populance.
populace.
Populance.
What's popular? Is it
Yes.
popular or
Okay,
populace?
populace. Maybe populace.
Pronunciation.
Populace. Maybe I didn't get the word.
That's not correct. So, populace, yes, populace. Now, let me say this quickly. Many of us will really benefit from speaking interviews with friends or with ourselves on record, or probably with examiners that we probably don't know before the exam, so that we can correct some areas. Now, I observed within short time that we have this thing. Everybody that did today, whether I corrected you or not, you are going to get with what you did without any correction. You're going to get 6.5. That's the truth. So correcting you is trying to push you to 7.58. So if you can continue with this and probably have more practices, you're going to get a level of having 8, or even you can't have 9 speaking. You can't. 8.5 is for maybe, I don't think you can have 8.5, but 8 is very achievable. So, but understand that corrections is just to help. Please, you can't tell the examiner to think few seconds, so because time is running. No, you can't tell the examiner that. No, time is running, so you can't tell the examiner to think first. No, you have to just a spontaneous answer. So you have to find a way to think by your introduction. Your introduction can allow you to think that, well, this look like a question that may imply a lot of thoughts. In saying that, you're already thinking. But I'm not saying, sir, can you give me some time to think? You are trying to push your marks away by saying that. Now, Mr. Okoro, please, will you like to answer a question before we probably go tonight? Okay, I think Mrs. Busayatu is trying to show presence here. Let's see
Yes,
how
sir.
far we can go. Okay, well, let's go to Mr. Okoro. Now, can you speak about global warming and its impact on the youth in your community, or what the government is doing about it in your community? I'm not
Hello.
hearing. I'm not hearing your. Let's see. And I think he's saying some very powerful stuff there. I'm not hearing at all. Mr. Kora, you are not yet audible. No. I'm not hearing you yet. Who is hearing Mr. Okoro? Who is sharing it? Who's the only one that's not hearing? I'm not hearing yet too. I hope you now have to pull off the earpiece and just speak the idea on the phone. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And it's not nice at all. I wanted to hear what you pull the earpiece from the phone. When you pull it out of the phone, then you speak directly to the phone if that will work. When you pull it out. Oh, no. This is not nice. Okay. Maybe you pull it out like this. You pull it out totally. So just speak directly to the phone. If that will work. Well, maybe that will work at that time. All right. Let me pull on to I saw Mrs. Faitola. Okay. Miss Omobola is ready now. Now, Miss Omobola, can you Miss Faitola is ready. Now that same question about global warming. All right. Can you answer the question about global warming? What is the government in your country doing to abate the signals or signs of global warming? Yeah, Miss Faitola, can you? Okay, she's not online anymore. Okay, Miss Omolola, can you answer the question? I think you are already ready. Just unmute and answer. Okay, the laptop issue. Okay, I understand. Okay, Miss Omolola. Okay, Miss Faitola is ready too. Don't worry, I will ask. All right. Miss
Hello.
Omola of Faitola. Hello, yes, I can hear you, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Well, global warming is a serious issue in this part of our country. Can you hear me, sir?
Very well.
Okay. And there are so many things that the government and we people can do to avert any disaster that come up as a result of these serious effects. And the first thing I would like to talk about is the issue of pollution, the issue of air pollution. And in this air pollution, it can cause serious health effects. I don't know.
Well,
No
you are the
idea.
most you have tried. Let me tell you something. Mrs. Faitola, you are the most natural answer of today, or answerer, because you seem to just be simple and plain in your answering. But until you got to the point of no idea, but at least you are able to come very plain and simple. You are also so trained, and you also try to use different words, which
Okay,
is
sir.
very
Thank
good.
you, sir.
Very good. Yes. Okay. So I think I've said it before. I said we should turn on our audio if you are answering. Okay. Omolola, Mrs. Omolola, please. You are the last person I'll be speaking tonight. Let's see how we can have this. I'll be asking a very simple question. Can you introduce yourself? Tell us about your work. Can you introduce yourself and tell us about your work? Mr. Omolola. Can you introduce yourself and tell us about your work? I think he's not ready. So I think we are already rounding off already, and I personally enjoyed myself tonight. Mr. Koles, can you answer that question if you can? Introduce yourself and tell us about your work. Okay. Please, once you can speak, just speak on. Don't worry, just speak on. Once you can speak, just speak on. Don't wait for me. So that I don't. If once you hear the question and you can speak, just speak on. Don't wait for me. Mr. Mawala, once you can speak, speak on. Don't wait for me.
What's the question, sir? Sorry.
A native of
Okay, the question is,
Can you hear me, sir?
can you tell us
I
about
am Ojo Feintola.
your,
Can you
yeah,
hear me, sir?
yeah, I can hear you.
I am Ojo Feintola. I am Ojo Feintola, born about in the early 90s, a native of Ile-Ife, a big city in Osun State.
Okay, yeah, continue. Okay, all right. Mr. Koro, see, let me see whether we can see hear you. Ah, okay. Oh,
Please, what's the question, sir?
okay. It's just about introduction. I was just ask. It was sort of rounding off actually, just to tell us your name and where you work.
Okay, my name is Somolola Iborishade. I am from Ondo State, and I work in Ondo State with the Hospital Management Board, General
Okay.
Hospital.
Tell us what you like about your work. Tell us what you like about your work.
I like the fact that
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I like the fact that I can multitask. By multitask, I mean I can work in different departments because it's a general hospital. So I can work either in the AI, accident and emergency, or in maternity
Okay.
ward, or in the children's ward and all of that.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Now, we're going to do more of this on Friday, and I think it's going to be the last official lessons we will be having. Let's just get prepared for Friday. Friday is going to be speaking class, and we're going to be having this kind of section where we'll be, allowed to, express our grammatical acumen by answering questions. So I will encourage that you do some practice. Avoid avoid I remember not to answer me from the way I asked you the question. Try and use synonyms to answer my question. And then the use of link words, trying to de-escalate the pressure by having a simple introduction to the answer. So by all of this, I will see those who practiced and those who didn't practice when we meet on Friday. Quite interesting, and I hope you have a nice time. So I'll be calling Mr. Bella to speak to us as we round off. But I think I was able to keep myself awake, and I think we had a good time.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Tunde. Be very brief today. So I want to say this kind of learning is a very unique type and very effective.
That's correct.
I want to suggest, Mr. Stephen, that when we're returning in July, we'll probably have maybe 2 days of teaching and 1 day of a session like this where people practice what they have learned. Because when you go to the exam situation, it will be you and the examiner. So we want to have an idea of your train of thought so that if there's a need to help you shape it or correct it, you know, and you take note of those things. And the ideas you generate are unique to you, because when you are at the exam hall or in front of the examiner, the ideas you'll be generating will be your own idea. So we can learn from individual people's idea rather than learning from you directly is a very good thing. However, we can learn a lot from other people's approach to the same question. And then we can say, oh, okay, I can use that idea but I won't make that mistake, you know, or this one that's done well, I can copy this and, you know, I can mold mine around this. I think it's a very wonderful way of learning. And I want to say, if you're here on this platform today, follow us on social media, share the message, share the opportunity with other people, and let us all become better people. Mr. Stephen, thank you so very much. The next class is on Friday. I hope I'll be able to attend. I want to say, if you have any questions about relocation, about how the system works here, I'll be happy to take your questions after the class on Friday before we break off and then come back in July. That's all I have to say for tonight. Again, well done, Mr. Steve. Well done, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. The good
Thank you, Mr. Tunde. Thank you,
our
Mr.
hard
Stephen.
work with success.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Good
Lovely
night.
evening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Good
Thank you.
night.
Mr. Stephen, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you.
Thank you very much. Oh, the test is going to hold next week. We're still going to have the test maybe Monday and Wednesday. So you should just get prepared. I will talk more about it on Friday.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.